Hi everyone, today on Top of Mind, I am with Christine Reynebeau, and we're here to talk about her books. She is an author, she's a community game changer in our region. She works here with the Boy Scout, the Samoset Council, the Boy Scouts of America. Christine, tell us a little bit about what you do professionally, and we want to talk about your books here. So let's start with what you do in the community for your career.
Yeah, so I work here at the Samoset Council with the Boy Scouts, and what I do is I'm a unit serving executive. So all of the different groups that we have throughout the community who are doing our scouting programs, whether that be Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Exploring, Venturing, or STEM Scouts, if they are in the eastern half of Marathon County, I work with them, I work with the community, and I work with all of their volunteers to make sure that scouting happens and it happens effectively.
So how many scouts are currently in this region?
In this region, we have probably close to 1,500. And then in the Samoset Council, which covers 13 counties of Wisconsin, we actually have over 6,000.
Wow, that's impressive. So as far as leadership in managing all of the different troops, how do you recruit troop leaders, and what is your involvement with them?
Yeah, most of our troop leaders and our pack leaders, they're all parents. So for the most part, we're just kind of connecting with the families, and they're taking on that responsibility of helping to deliver the program. So when I work with them, we do different things about training, different techniques that they can utilize, what resources are available in the community that can help them. But they're doing all the heavy lifting.
Okay.
With our Exploring program and our STEM Scouts, we rely a little bit more on businesses and community partnerships to get volunteers helping with those.
Okay.
Yeah,
I want to talk a little bit more about that. But as far as the Scouts, how do you get the troops to progress? Like, can you explain the levels of being a Scout?
Yeah, so do you mean like when you start?
When you start to, what's the highest rank you can get to?
Yeah, okay.
How do you progress through that?
Yeah, so we have our Cub Scout program, which starts in kindergarten. And you can sign up in kindergarten. You go through Cub Scouts up until 5th grade. There are 6 levels that you can go through. So, and I can't do the levels. I don't know those in order.
Okay.
Sherman probably would. But I know it starts with the lions, then it's the tigers, wolf, bear, Webelow 1, Webelow 2.
Okay.
So you go through those and you do a lot of different adventures, and it's really kind of learning to explore your world and build characteristics that really embody strong morals, and being active in your community. And then when you are a Webelow, you can cross over into a Boy Scout troop. And in that program, then that I super don't know all of the levels, but they start doing more merit badges and more community service and leadership positions. They use what's called the patrol method, and they put youth in small groups, and then each group has their leaders, and they have senior patrol leaders, and so it's really boy-led, soon to be boy or girl-led, but
sure.
It's led by the youth. So it's really them taking the program and taking their own control over it.
Okay.
As they progress through that, then they can choose to go for their Eagle Award. The Eagle Award requires them to do a certain number of merit badges, and merit badges are really designed to give them a full perspective on the world and the different hobbies and skills that they would need to be a well-rounded person. So there's things like being a citizen in your community, citizen in your nation, citizen in the world. They have to do reading. They have to learn how to do motorboating, fishing, just all sorts of things all over our world that we do.
Life skills.
Yep, life skills, yeah. So just going and doing a bunch of those. Then they do an Eagle Project. And with the Eagle Project, they have to come up with an idea on how they can serve their community better. Then they create a project that does that. That project can't serve just one individual person. They create their project, create their plan, and then they take that project and they go in front of a panel of adults, and they present what they want to do. At that point, they are either accepted or not. And then when their project is accepted, then they go out and they do their project. Once they've done their project, then they have a whole packet, like a crazy extreme packet of information that they fill out, documenting, you know, their budget, who they worked with, who helped them on things. And they present that then, when they're done with their project, to another board. And they do a Eagle Board of Review where they say, you know, everything they've learned in the scouting program, everything they learned through doing this project. And again, they are either accepted or not. And that is, and then if they are accepted, you know, they get their Eagle Award.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty impressive process to stick with.
Yeah.
And I'm sure requires a lot of leadership and mentorship along the way. This is such a beautiful facility here.
Yeah.
What do you use this space for? Like, what are all the things that, I mean, can the community use this space?
Yeah.
Tell us about this awesome venue.
Yeah, so the Scout office was donated by the Schutte family and also the community, but we have the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts in this building, and so it's a really awesome opportunity for our community to have shared facilities. We have Schutte Hall that can be reserved by the community, and you just kind of have to contact the office and see what we can do to help you out and if it's available. But we offer, both us and the Girl Scouts office out of here. We have the Scout Shop in here, which serves both the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, and it's where all of our leaders can come and get some good Boy Scout swag, some fun snacks. They can get all of their leadership requirements and all of the different badges they need.
I mean, there's a store
Yeah.
in here.
Yes.
I didn't know that. It's pretty impressive. I mean, it's well stocked and there's a lot of different stuff in there.
Oh yeah, and they keep it fun and they keep it, you know, rotating different things through. It's always fun every fall to see like new scouting shirts come through. I don't even remember what it was, but they had a Star Wars themed scout shirt for fall in this last year. So they try and keep it up to date and new stuff. And then we office out of here. So we are constantly having leadership meetings in here. We have monthly meetings with our unit serving leaders. And then we have different cabinet meetings and committee meetings to make sure that all of our programming is happening correctly. And
Excellent. Yeah, this is beautiful.
Yeah, well, and we also have Camp Phillips out back. And so we have I don't even know how many acres it is, but it's a beautiful facility with hiking trails and cabins and McCormick Lodge, and that's all available for renting too.
Neat. Yeah. Very cool. So beyond your, everyday job here, you're also a children's book author.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. And you have 3 books out right now.
Yes.
One was just recently released. Tell us how you got into being a children's author. I mean, certainly you have a passion for youth and leadership and education. So how does that play into what you've built here with Dream Built Books?
Yeah. So it actually originally did not tie into what I do with young people for my career, and kind of grew into that. But I was 23 years old, and like a lot of other 23-year-olds, I was lost and I had no idea what I was doing. And I had a teacher when I was in high school who provided us the opportunity to write a letter to ourselves 5 years from now and tell ourselves, you know, what we wanted to accomplish in those 5 years and what we wanted to remember of ourselves from high school. And I got my letter when I was 23, and my letter had this great idea of like, by the ripe age of 20, you are going to have done this laundry list of things. And I had only accomplished 2 of them. And I felt so defeated. And I was like, you didn't do anything. But also like, you really thought 20 years old was old enough to have accomplished all of this. And I was at a bad place. And I wanted to tell the world, like, I'm done not accomplishing things. And so I just started sending my book off, and I originally went the traditional route of publishing, and so I sent it to a couple different publishers and got PB&J accepted by 2 different publishing companies, and by 2014, in June, I had it on the market. Then I struggled a lot with the concept of being like, well, anybody can publish 1 book. That doesn't mean much. A lot of people disagreed with me on that, but for myself, it was this need to keep going. And so I wrote Guts. And as I was working through PB&J and just enjoying the story, I started realizing how much it could actually impact kids. And I was working for the YMCA at that point in time and working with outreach programs for teenagers. So that was very eye-opening in seeing where there were gaps. And so when I wrote Guts, it was really hoping to reach young people and say, intuition is something we should talk about, because you got to trust it.
Yeah. Well, and actually, let's visit that. So can you show us your first book and kind of give us an overview of what PB&J is about, and then transition into what Guts is about? And then the third, tell us the story behind.
I'll give you a quick overview of them. So PB&J was really written for my parents. Because they are the types of parents that always told me, like, you can do anything you want to do any day of the week, nothing's going to stop you. So it is all about our dear friend Lucy here, and she can't get her jelly jar open, and she tries all sorts of very foolish things. It's wildly ridiculous. She feeds it to the dog, she throws it in the can machine, all sorts of things, trying to get this jar open. Not happening. And do you want me to, are we doing a spoiler alert? Okay.
Wow.
So the moral of the story is to believe in yourself, to continue persevering, to really push yourself forward. And even when you keep butting up against these obstacles, make it happen. Like, it's all within you. You can do it. So that was the first one. And then Guts is trusting your guts. So it takes our young character, Henry, through, he talks to his mom about, and here, I don't know if you want like a preview. So he talks to his mom about how his guts will tell him what's right and what's wrong. And he thinks she's just ridiculous because guts don't talk, and he ate a bunch of food and nothing came out. And so he didn't understand until he's at school, and he is posed with the challenge of figuring out, do I go where I know I'm not supposed to or not? So it's really about identifying that moment when you know what could be right and what could be wrong, and choosing right. That one's really inspired by my sister. So she was notorious in high school and college for being that kid who would tell everybody, like, I just don't feel right about this. And they'd be like, Chris, okay, like, Danielle, you gotta like just calm down. No, like, and she'd get out of cars. Like, if somebody was driving unsafely, she would just, nope, I feel bad about this, I'm getting out. And like, she had one friend who finally was like, okay, I'll slow down, but like, get back in the car. Yeah. So really leaning into your intuition and believing what it's saying. And then Kind is one that I've been very excited about, because especially in our world that we've got right now, it's all about just choosing kindness and the power of kindness on other people. So we have our first character is back, and we got our Lucy again, and she is posed with the challenge of bullying. So we have our two characters here, and she is just struggling, and she's hurt and trying to figure her way through that. And her mom, actually, it's my favorite page, but her mom tells her this great little line of, you are stronger than you think, you are braver than you feel, and all the sadness you feel today will absolutely heal. And that was really, from working with a lot of kids and having a lot of kids just really challenged by trying to remove themselves from their own pain and see that you're gonna be fine. You really will. How do you take your own pain and look around you and see where else is there pain, and how do I minimize that? And how do I create a happier environment around me rather than dwelling on what hurts? So it's really about that resiliency that we're looking for in our kids, and choosing kindness.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of these are great topics, and great things to address. I mean, kids certainly need all of these lessons.
Yeah.
You've really selected some really great things to write about. What can we expect from you in the future? Are you thinking about continuing on? And more? Yeah.
Yep. So the next one will be teamwork, focusing on the value of different skills, and that not everybody offers the same skills to a team, and the need for that. And then after that, the next one will be about love in families and the value of that, and how no matter what your family looks like, it's built on love. So those are the next two in the pipeline.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So where can we find your books? How do we buy them?
They are available on Amazon, on barnesandnoble.com. I have them in one store out in Frisco, so if you're all the way out in Frisco, I guess. But we're working on getting into some more bookstores, especially the small local ones, but primarily online or at different events.
Okay. And how do we follow your story as you're progressing through your journey here with writing more?
Yeah, we are on Facebook for Dreambuilt Books is the book company. And that is pretty much how you follow us everywhere, is at Dreambuilt Books. I tried to keep it real simple for everybody. And so we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. We've got some stuff on Pinterest, on Twitter. Oh, what other social media is there? And then our website is www.dreambuiltbooks.com. So yeah, just keeping it nice and easy on everybody.
Well, congratulations on all of these accomplishments.
Thank you.
You're truly making an impact on children, on our community. I think you're just an awesome all around. So congratulations. And thank you so much for being on top of mind today. We certainly appreciate Christine being here, and thank you all for tuning in. And look up Dreambuilt Books to learn more and follow Christine's journey and in writing some more awesome children's books. Thank you for joining us today.